It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, and this is the Pro and the Con Show with your host, Michael James Ott. That would be me. Welcome to the show. 15 to 20 minutes to try to keep tonight's show relatively short. I've been running over a little bit here, so try to keep it to 15 minutes tonight. We're live tonight, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then these shows, I co-record them and end up, through the magic of technology, putting them on YouTube as well on the Ott in 2020 channel. So you can look for them there as well in 1080p. Anyway, so want to look at the information streams. Again, notice I'm not using the word news because they're so full of bias often. And we're going to concentrate on the who, the what, the where, and the when. And so just a couple of headlines here. So, and then just pointing out how some of these information sources, information streams, differ in the way they present information. So today, the Trump administration decided that they had been trying to get a question about citizenship on the census, and the folks that are most concerned about immigrants, and especially potentially illegal immigrants, did not want that question on the census because that would cause them to potentially not answer or participate in the census, because that, in theory, could help identify them for deportation. And so anyway, NPR, which is, like I say, mostly not biased for the most part, they simply report, and here's the headline, I'll show it to you. The report is Trump administration to print 2020 census without citizenship question. And then underneath the headline, the move comes shortly after the Supreme Court ruled to keep the question off the census forms for now. So no jingle journalism, no capital letters, no exclamation points, no words of hate and discontent. Just a simple, this is what happened. Okay. Now we go to Huffington Post, and of course they have a big graphic, and Trump admin caves. No citizenship question, exclamation point. Okay. So you notice the difference? More than a little subtle, I would think. Don't you think? So this is the kind of thing that you want to watch out for, is all those exclamation points and capital letters and all that kind of stuff. That's trying to incite emotion in you. And when we're looking at the news, we just want the facts, and then we'll decide internally what that means to us, right? That's, you guys are in, right? You're buying into this? Hope so. Other little tidbits here, U.S. defeats England, so our women's team in World Soccer is doing very well, and I think they're going to be in the final now. So, well done, women. It's just sports, of course, but let's see here. Other things, there was a Navy SEAL that was on trial for, it seemed like a couple of weeks there, over murdering an ISIS detainee. And yeah, that information came out of that trial in kind of a haphazard way. And in the end, apparently the jury determined that he was not guilty of doing that. So there you go. Let's see here. CNN also is reporting Trump administration won't ask about citizenship on the census. That's one of their breaking news articles. Looking through here, what else do we have? Go back to NPR. Okay, so NPR has what they claim is an exclusive, which I had not seen on any of the other information streams at this point. So they say, here's a headline. I'll show it to you. I'll show you the graphic here and everything. So they call, this is an exclusive story that they think that they've got here. Trump administration hits some immigrants in the U.S. illegally with fines up to $500,000. The Department of Homeland Security targeted individuals for quote-unquote or quote failing to depart the U.S. as previously agreed, unquote. Among other factors, it's the latest effort to clamp down on interior enforcement. Okay, so be interesting to see what happens with that. And related to that, some Congress people, congresswomen, they went down to some of the border facilities and toured them, and they came back and there was a fair amount of disparaging remarks by at least a couple of the congresswomen that were down there. But now we've got, for example, Breitbart is, let's see here, it's in here somewhere. Yeah, so Breitbart is running an article saying that a Hispanic pastor who toured the same facility visited by one of the congresswomen saw no deplorable conditions. Let's read that article the rest of the way and see what it actually says there, because that same pastor, by the way, is calling for urgent support for the crisis. So conditions are not deplorable, but it needs urgent support. Okay, so let's see here. So a Hispanic pastor said his tour of the same facility visited by U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio they've misspelled her name, left him with a drastically different perception of the facility. Let's see now. So, veteran of immigration advocacy in the U.S., shocked by misinformation. All this in Breitbart here. Rodriguez, who's the pastor being questioned here, places the blame for the broken immigration system that led to the current border crisis on consecutive White House administrations, and especially upon Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, who he implored to address the system they created. Yeah, see. So here's the thing, and I've talked about this multiple times, okay? So now you got he said, she said going on and on and on and on. So all of these issues, whether it's the election system and election reform, or tax overhaul, tax system overhaul, or healthcare, or abortion rights, or gun laws, or all these things. These issues are complex, and you have to spend a few days, and our government, the government that is supposed to be for us, should be stepping back on a significant issue and spending quality time understanding this thing, instead of just all this, well, he said, she said, it's not bad, it's horrible, on and on and on. And until we start doing that as a nation, we're going to continue to suffer mightily. So, and that all, if you go through the 5 whys kind of thing, it all stems back to the two-party system, which is still broken and breaking us more and more. Okay? A house divided cannot stand. And the two-party system is just trying to rip us apart. And the people in those political parties don't give a damn. Well, most of them, the ones that are doing what they're doing because of their vested interest in acquiring wealth, influence, and power, okay, it's going to keep going and keep getting worse until we do something different. And along those lines, let me go back here to the story here about politics. So Breitbart again, I'm going to show you some of the, so here's more of the jingo journalism here. So, and this guy Nolte on Breitbart he's Mr. Jingo. I mean, he's you know, I guess that's why they hire him, because he's supposed to be the Howard Stern of Breitbart. So 2020 Democrat candidates, 21 most insanely scary proposals. Okay. And then another article by Nolte, Buttigieg slips to just 6% support after crybaby debate performance. And now look at this picture, and he's warning of Black Americans of another civil war. Look at that picture of Buttigieg. Yeah. Someone's not trying to influence there, are they? So the other thing about the political system is the candidates are required every quarter to tell the federal government how much money they've collected in contributions during the last quarter. And Mr. Trump is happy, and you probably saw that headline when you looked at Mr. Buttigieg's picture. He has announced that his organization has collected $105 million in the second quarter. Now, the Democrats are getting $25 million, some of them $30 million in the second quarter. Of course, it's a desperate lot now. They have all of their different potential candidates, whereas it's just Donald Trump, and unfortunately no one in his party is even bothering to oppose him, giving us even less choice, by the way. Amazingly enough, I always thought that John Kasich was really a good guy, but you know, I saw him on an interview a few months ago, and they were asking him, well, would you get in the race or try to remove or bypass Mr. Trump as a Republican candidate? And he said, I don't think I can win, therefore I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, you know, you gotta do what you can. And sometimes that means doing stuff that you're pretty sure isn't going to work out, but you never know. You've got to do what you can. We're just individuals. You got to do what you can. Otherwise, you're basically just letting it go where it will. Anyway, I said we'd try to finish up early today, so I'm going to keep that promise. It's less than 15 minutes. This point. So be on again tomorrow, July 3rd. That'll be Wednesday, and hope you tune in. Hope you look at my old videos. Hope you look at the future ones. And until I speak to you again, bye for now.